I didn't know that I had lost my way. Thought everything was gonna be okay, but life was empty. I filled it up and carried on. The pain kept coming, I was going down. I held so tight, kept falling to the ground. I knew I had to change, I knew I had to let it go. And now I've found a better way to wash the ego pain away. And then I found the words to say, I am divine, I am divine. It's always been there, it will never go away. I am divine. I feel so free, remember every day, the moment all the pain was washed away. I shine so bright now, and I want everyone to know. You've got this living deep inside you too, and it's so easy just to feel brand new. Commit surrender to your divinity within. And then you'll see a better way. Things you don't need will fall away. Your eyes will open and you'll say, I am divine, I am divine. It's always been there, it will never go away. I am divine. Oh, I am divine, I am divine. It's always been there, it will never go away. I am divine. It's always been there, it will never go away. I am divine.
Where'd you go, Tim? Well, welcome everyone. Good to have you here. All the new ones, all the regulars, but any new ones that are here, welcome you. We have an intro video that for those of you that are new, we're going to play that now just to welcome you. So here it is. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. My name is Don Smith. That's Don with two N's. And I'm here to share with you what I've developed over 44 years that I call IAMDIVINITY. I say that I am divinity because I'm divine and so are you. No matter what you've done and what you haven't done, you are divine, you always were and you always will be. And it gets all covered up. And so all of those trips to the personal developments and all of those things, and they don't hold. And did you ever question yourself? Instead of just going back and getting the next one and the next one and the next one and none of them hold? Well, there's a reason for that. A very big reason is because you're working at a belief level of who you think you are. That's what beliefs are, both negative and positive. They're who we think we are. So going from a negative belief to a positive belief is not the answer whatsoever. It's about the knowing of who we truly are. There's knowing. It isn't a belief. And so all of these ideas of doing this and all of those trips to the wherevers, it's like dealing with a piece of something.
But this is not a piece of anything. This is the total knowing of who you are. And what I've developed over this 44 years is a process that's instant and it's permanent. Now, the permanent comes in by you doing something for holding it. But I'm telling you, there's people have this for years, and it's instant. And how do I say that with such boldness? Well, put it in the category of a phobia. 90% of the population has a phobia of something. Bugs, snakes, rats, heights, water, whatever. And my question to you is, how long did it take for you to create that phobia? Yes, you're right. 1 instant. And yet everybody questions me about that. And yet that's all it took. 1 instant. So now, what I did was, I reverse engineered near-death experiences and phobias to find out how they worked, and I reverse engineered it. So if you can create a phobia in a second, and most times it's before the age of reason, which is 4, 5, 6. Think about that. At that young of an age, that in 1 second, you created a lifetime phobia. Well, it's a lifetime phobia because you're holding on to it for protection. That's how the ego works. It's going to get you to hold on to something that's harmful for you so it can keep you aware in case it happens again. That's how toxic your ego is. And it's not your ego, it's the ego. Sorry, my mistake. Because you are much more than an ego. And so what it's about is if you create it in a second, why would it take any longer than a second to reverse it if you knew how you did it? That's what I do. That's one of the pieces. And then the other is the permanentness of it all. Well, I'm going to ask you a question. What color are your eyes? What color are those eyes of yours? Now you tell me how long you've had that color. Yeah, your whole life. That's permanent. Would you agree? But look at the permanentness of a phobia. You had it from age 4 to 84. That's 80 years. You'd think that was permanent. But it was created in a second, and you can reverse it in a second. So it's not. That's what I'm saying. So that's what we're talking about. Something that's instant, something that's permanent, and it's about who you truly are. Your divinity, your divine. Don't ever forget it. Always remember it. And all of these other things are happening because you have an attachment to the personal development system of beliefs and changing a belief from a negative to a positive. It's not going to hold. It will not hold. Yes, there will be improvements. Congratulations on doing that. That's searching. I'm talking about a shift from this to a shift from this. Who we're not to who we are. And then doing a simple exercise. Takes 5 minutes 3 times a day to hold it. And there you have it. That's it. That's who you are. That's why it's like the color of your eyes. The color of your eyes has been that way all this time, and you still have that color. Well, it's the same. Who you truly are is permanent. Who your beliefs are not, because it's not true. No matter how much you believe, the negative or the positive about those beliefs, they're false. And so, I'm here to share with you to go on a journey under 2 hours. Now I'm talking about, like I've worked with 15 different pro athletes or Olympians, okay? That's just in sports. And then mega billionaires, millionaires, and health, cancer. You know, one guy, yeah, I met him in the garbage room in Vancouver. I opened up the door and there he is. And he's so gray and he's humped over and he's like, you think he was going to die any second. I said, holy shit, man, you don't look too good. What's going on? He said, oh, I got prostate cancer. I've had it for 16 months. I've had 32 radiation treatments. And I don't know how much time I have. I said, don't listen to that bullshit. Can I ask you a few questions? Within that 15 minutes, I had asked him all these questions. And all I knew about him was his name was Al. 3 weeks later, I get a call from him, the same guy. He said, hi, Don, this is Al Valjanic. I met you in the garbage room 3 weeks ago. Yeah? Well, I don't have any cancer. Now, I could fill this room with those stories. Fill this room with those stories. And you can access this magnificent, powerful, divine energy called I Am Divinity. And what's natural about it, it matches who you truly are. That's the key. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that exciting that you will know who you are, and it will override and supersede who you think you are. Now, if you're tied up with that persona that you've developed, in a second, I might add, and kept it all this time, like I just worked with a guy that when he was 9, his mom died, and he decided to harden his heart. And he hardened his heart for the next 40 years. And that's what all his issues were about. We went back, cleaned that up, boom, it's gone. All the symptoms were all gone. That's how easy it is, and that's how simple this is. So if you want to continue with your hard work and all of those kind of things, and going back and paying for this again, that again, and this again, and the counseling and the therapy and coaching and all of that, go ahead, by all means. But if you want to be free, free to be you, free to be who you truly are, and those eyes, every time you look in the mirror, it will remind you how magnificent you are. And that's how this process is about, whether it's in an individual or whether it's in group. And I welcome you to join us in this journey of raising humanity's consciousness from its existing 210 to 700. That's right, you heard it right. 210 to 700. So it's an awesome journey. We're looking for 100 that are willing to go to 700 to raise humanity's consciousness. So I welcome you, and I'll see you on our journey.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. Where's the screen? Hey, nice to have everybody on the call. Well, I want to start today where I left off yesterday by thanking Paul and Donna for their contribution yesterday of intense honesty and willingness and open-minded. Amazing. I want to tell you a little story how much that had an impact. So there was a couple here in the studio that were watching that. They were a couple. And guess what? Paul and Donna, they were both crying when we were finished. Yeah, they were. That's how much your interview, your openness, your forwardness of your truths, that you weren't hiding anymore, out in the open. And lo and behold, they had similar programs going, and it triggered them all, and then they came and they got released and cleaned up. So super congrats, you guys. Now that's how this is working. So it's twofold. It's the impact you're going to have on others, and then how you can bring others to this process so that your family and friends and relatives and whoever's get to have that same experience, because do you know how difficult it is for Jamie and I to be telling these stories? Do you have any idea? Like, no, these guys are just salesmen. They're trying to sell us on something. But that's what it comes across as. No matter what we do, no matter what we say, no matter what examples, whatever. And so you saying, I experienced this, you saying, I saw this, and you saying, this is what this has been like for me. When I say me, I mean you. And that's how this spreads. That's how we get this out to the world. And that's why you're on this call. First of all, experience the transformation yourself. Transformation as a couple. Sharing how it's impacted your children. Like Noah, with his little 2-year young going like this, saying, I am. Yeah, doing her divine focus at 2. Like, seriously. Wouldn't you want that for your children? And so it's like, okay. So it takes it out of the hands of Jamie and I, trying to tell them that this is what it is, and this is what's possible, and this is how it can happen. And then doubting that we're telling the truth. And then with you saying it, they know you're not lying. Okay? And they believe you rather than what they deem, like I said, as a salesman. And so there you have it. And so from that, it's like people come in and there's 10 this week and 20 the next week and 30 the next or the next day or whatever. Imagine this growing twice, a doubling it each day. How long would it take? 13 on the call, 26 tomorrow, 52 the next day, 104 the next, 208. Like, okay, wouldn't you like to be a part of that groundswell? You know, I had different conversations. I grew up on the smallest province in Canada, Prince Edward Island, and I lived out in the country. And I had gone to Calgary. I left for Calgary for 10 years and went back. And then I lived back on PEI for 15 in a different place. And I had like 7 acres of land that went with this old 7-bedroom, 3-story farmhouse. And it had this, you know, about 3 acres of land. It was grass. And then in the spring, it would be as dry as tinder, and you just throw a match and it would just go. And that's what I deemed this to be, with you having your own personal experience and sharing that with your family, your friends. And I want to have a caveat in this. It's like just the share. You're not trying to sell them on it. It's like, this is what it is. This is what happened to me, for me. This is what happened to me and my wife. Yeah. And then see where they go. It's not trying to convince. It's like, hey, I'm telling you, this is what took place. So very exciting. And imagine you being a part of that, like, and continuing to have the experiences like you had yesterday. Because how many of you got a lot out of Paul and Donna's, you know, truth that they shared yesterday?
and openness that they shared in front of a crowd. Like, yeah, Tiffany, so much, so good. And yeah. So anyway, that's it. Very exciting. So just ask a couple of questions on Paul. How was that? Was that for you yesterday? Today, actually, like since we talked last. What was that like? What
Wow.
happened?
Well, I was up the whole time. Time zone's a little different here. It's 4 a.m. in the morning.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, got it. Yeah.
But I thought, thought I could catch a couple hours or something beforehand, and I stayed up. The energy was unbelievable. I was through the roof with the energy I got from the session,
Yeah.
and the whole Superman story just absolutely it got solidified, even more so. I started putting together more and more pieces, and what actually came up was at that time in the neighborhood, I became known as Superman, and
Yeah.
and at the time, um, I had believed that that position or that name or that new identity that all of a sudden I had been given by the neighborhood. I thought this was a complimentary thing. Everybody was sort of talking it up around the neighborhood, and every time I came around on my tricycle, beaming down the street, down the sidewalk, which I did in the neighborhood constantly, daily, around and around the block. Everybody would go, "Oh, there's Superman! There he is!
Right.
There's Superman!" And
Yeah.
I thought, wow, this is great. I mean, I got this identity that I thought that was all amazing, and I had a presence now in the neighborhood, and I remember my energy at that point just was through the roof. But one thing came up which I hadn't seen at all before about that memory that I had for sure was I felt at the time that I was some kind of a celebrity, and I thought, boy, people had really, really noticed me. But then I also noticed there are people that were sneering at me. I noticed that
Yeah.
people were joking and they were poking fun at me, but I didn't interpret it that way at the time, but I could see it now, and that came up, which is a whole new side of my experience at that time and what I experienced, and I came to terms also knowing that I had quite a my older brother was quite intent on making sure that nobody really complimented me. He was constantly he was that in the way of anything and everything that would take place, and I managed to ignore him. I know I did because I still sustained my energy around the neighborhood and ran my rode my tricycle. And one little note on the tricycle, this was a bike that I had broken the handles off because I used to ride it so hard. So normally the tricycle handles are upwards and you're sort of up on your seat and you're holding you're upright. Well, when my dad went to fix my tricycle, he had the welder put the handlebars the reverse. So now my handlebars in a tricycle are actually in the shape of a racing bicycle. So that was
Right.
a racer position. Well, that
Right.
fueled me forever. I thought that's for sure. I could torque around the neighborhood, and nobody, I mean nobody, no matter how old that kid was, could keep up with me. So,
Yeah.
so it sure solidified the Superman, and I felt amazing, absolutely amazing. So that my experience yesterday was through the roof. I, I,
Awesome.
I, I,
So know this,
I'm
bud. Know
Yeah.
this. That's the power you came to the planet with. And it's still there. And it's like Superman energy. It truly is. And you're going to get the naysayers. You're going to get the ones that are making fun of you. You're going to get the ones that are calling you names, all of that. Okay? I mean, Jamie and I just had a conversation this morning over breakfast of how the difference, like, you know, those kind of sneering and who are these guys talking about or whatever. There's that. But then there's, oh, there's the purple man. There's the guy in purple, or there's the guy in pink. And so it's like maintaining that focus of that inward power in our light. That's what we hold on to. That's what we never give up. Because that's who we truly are. You get that, Paul?
Oh, I get it. We went for this walk. Just one more example. Went for this walk yesterday, and I have been, you know, toying with this. Well, it's been bothering me. This right hip of mine, and I just recently raised its ugly head, and it's been in the way of me wanting to walk in this beautiful island here. And
No, it's
anyway,
getting in the way of you walking in your light.
yes, yes. And anyway,
Continue.
we went on this hike, and my wife's been dragging me along. Come on, let's go. Let's go this way. Okay, wait, but it's really sore. It's sore. Hold on. And then anyway, to the point was I walked as far as I've ever had walked without it really bothering me at all. So really enjoyed the walk, and there's just hills here all the time. I mean, there's mountains and there's just hills. So I'm up and down these hills the longest I've ever walked before. Yeah.
Congratulations, Paul.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. Okay? Now, look at what you just did. Isn't that amazing?
Oh,
Can
yes.
you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
And that's from you and Donna taking a risk of sharing truths about yourself and pulling that out up to the surface so that it can be lanced. And you're left with your knowing of who you truly are. And those metaphors of the bike and the handlebars and the Superman, that's the energy you came with. That wasn't a coincidence. That was a metaphor of you being in your power, in your light. Now it's your job to see where that takes you and see what happens. Is that you? Got it?
Yes, absolutely. I'm excited. I'm very excited about this.
Wonderful. And I'm telling you, bud, you damn well keep daily track of this in bullet form, because you're not going to be able to recall all of the amazing things. Okay?
I just started a journal.
Perfect.
And yeah.
Just do it in bullet form so you can quickly scan it different times. Just go back and have a look. La, 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 la. Not about reading a story. It's about recalling events and what you're doing and how different it is. With you and with Donna and if you've got kids or your finances or your careers or health, whatever. And just see what happens. How exciting is that?
Oh, it's super exciting, very exciting.
And
Yeah.
tell me, tell me how many people you'd that in your circle you'd like to have access to this.
Oh, there's a good handful of people for absolute sure.
Well, you damn well get on that
Mhm.
and share what happened to you with them. Okay? That's your job. And you'll get paid to do it.
Absolutely.
Clear?
Yeah.
That's how it is, that each of you on this call, and many more that will come on this call as a result of you guys, will benefit from this in many levels. Like, look at it. Health. Look at your health already. Paul, look at your health already. Less than 24 hours. Not amazing?
Yes. Donna's here. She's nodding away here.
Yes. And notice your spirit, your divinity, how like bright it is, how inviting it is, how excited it is. It's like the little 2-year-old who you're young. You get it?
Oh, absolutely get it. Yes.
And you are taking part in that too, Donna, because you were a part of this. Okay?
Yes.
And no more playing shy, playing small. Got it? Donna?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Speaking up. Not having Paul speak for you.
Yeah, I know I do
Clear?
that a lot.
You did that a lot.
Yeah, I've done that a lot.
Yeah, you've done that a lot. Not anymore. Okay? Now
Okay.
it's you standing in your power, the same as Paul standing in his. As a couple, with each other and with others.
Yes.
Got it?
Got it.
Super congrats. Way to go. So, there's all kinds of things that could be talked about. I'm just wondering if there's anyone that Paul can't hear. Mic is low. Are you having trouble hearing Paul or no?
No, it's fine.
Okay, got it. Okay, good.
Thank you.
Yeah. So everybody, look at how much you found out about you yesterday from me taking Paul and Donna through a simple exercise. Questions and answers. Questions and answers. Not amazing how simple that was? Just asking. And how many of you resonated with that? Any of you? Anybody? Anybody resonate with that? Let's see, Shannon, Tim and I. In what way? In what way? Let me see. In what way did it affect you, Tiffany? What did you get out of that? And Tim, you and Shannon, what did you get out of that as a couple? We make comments to each other, bring in our light. Being in our light has been so good. Not giving in to the ego. That's awesome, Shannon. First of all, recognizing the ego and the difference between the ego and your divinity. Like, how different are they? Any of you? How different are those two energy fields of divinity and ego? How different are they? Anybody? Total opposite. Completely total opposite. No comparison whatsoever. Night and day is right. Night and day. So different. Okay? So where did that come from? Did I give those two people anything yesterday? Did I give Paul and Donna anything? All I did was brought out from inside what they already had. Yes, I gave them a way to see their divinity, and I gave them a way and did a little process to remove their ego so they could see it all clearly. Okay? And so that's how simple it is. Where it gets difficult is when there's a lot of resistance and the ego is trying to find a way not to expose itself, especially to someone like myself that can see it. Shannon, our kids even noticed Tim wasn't in his divinity light and said, "Mom, he needs to get in his light." That's awesome. What age are your children, Shannon?
That's great. Joanne was on the call and she disappeared.
Twin girls at 16. Isn't that amazing? Just by you guys shifting. Isn't that exciting? Wow. It's like a tidal wave happening. Tidal wave of divine light.
No, it's
Yeah, it is so exciting. Yeah. So imagine that, having 1,000 people or 5,000 people on this. Imagine what that will be like for the schools the children are in, for the career that you guys are in, you know, for the hospitals you don't have to go to, you know, all of that. Or someone that has an illness or a disease and how different it was for you with yours. Like, what's that? How do you think that will be on the planet? Because we are talking planetary shift here. Would you agree? And we're everywhere, like all over. That's right. So exciting. My 14-year young is sick, and I asked him today if he's making himself sick because he needs a break or because he's isn't feeling loved. He said, of course, he of course had no idea, but I love planted seed. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. So, yes, the absolutely's. And one of the girls had issues at school and showed up, and I showed up. We were meeting with the assistant principal, and she says, "I don't want to be in my divinity light right now, so don't tell me to." And that's great. Let them make those decisions on their own, not interfere. Yeah. Okay, so for whatever reason, she's aware of it. It's not amazing that she's aware of it. I don't want to be in it right now. I don't want to be in my divinity right now.
Yeah.
So, like, how innocent is that? Like, Sisyphus looked at me like, what's that mean? Well, she definitely wouldn't know. Definitely wouldn't know. Yeah. Unless they were courageous enough to ask, and hear the answer. So, yeah, so there's a school affected, everywhere it's affected. You can't go anywhere and not be in this energy and people not notice. They will notice. They will notice in the playground, schoolyard, in the classroom, like I said this a few times now. I used to go every day dressed up to the Dubai Mall, which is the largest mall in the world. And I've just walked through and, I'd talk to somebody, or they'd talk to me, or they'd ask me where I was from, or what's with the colors, and get to explain those kind of things. And yeah, it's like, and I've had, 10, 15, 20 people surrounding me, asking me all these questions. Yeah. But, and then, yes, Tiffany, he just was going for 47 days, I think, straight, and just needed to chill. But he's fine, other than just needing a little rest. And so this lady, it was the mother of the daughter that was in a wheelchair. This lady was in a wheelchair. And I'd say she was like late 20s, early 30s. I said, what in the hell are you doing in a wheelchair at this age? And I forget what it was that she told me. And I said, well, there's something that can be done about that. And then the mother started asking all these questions. Now, these are complete strangers in the mall in Dubai, and started asking all these questions. And of course, I had all those answers for them, how that worked. And she said, wow, it'd be certainly awesome for my daughter to have an experience and see how it would work. And I said, yeah, we could definitely, set that up, see how that could work. And anyway, the next morning she said, no, my daughter doesn't want anything to do with that. Here she is in a wheelchair. Not amazing? Okay, so there's no arguing or fighting or twisting or cajoling. It's like, hey, all good, no problem. Stay in your wheelchair. Yeah, it's up to you, my dear, not up to me. So yes, but I want to come back to how impactful the Paul and Donna story was for other couples. That's how it works. And that difference, and the sharing today of how different that was, and how different this is going to be for you, Paul, you in your Superman energy. You won't be able to go back, but you'll never get back into that ant suit with no wings.
I'm looking for a Superman. I'm looking for a Superman costume right now.
They're out there. Yeah. I took pictures. I don't know where I was. I think I was in Dubai, and they had this store with all these outside in the window, all these superheroes. So I took pictures of those superheroes. So I'll see if I can find those pictures I took of the superheroes, Paul, and send them to you. And so, yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So seriously, this is how this works. This is literally how this works. Okay, that that we are that Superman, Superwoman. We came here with this power. Like some of the things that I did, it took me a long while to share them. Like seriously. It was like, who in the hell is going to believe this? And the other thing was, I wasn't going out bragging and whatever. It was like I needed to share it with somebody, family or somebody, you know, like Hurricane Durian. Any of you in the States hear about Hurricane Durian? You remember it? Anybody? It was I think it was categorized as the third largest horrific storm ever. I think it was either the second or third most powerful storm ever, Hurricane Durian. Now, I don't go looking for these things. It's like they come intuitively to me. And so here's this Hurricane Durian. And it said it was the second or third worst storm on the planet. And that it was going to cause horrific damage. And it already did, because it would already come through Bermuda and destroyed half of it. And was it Bermuda or Bahamas? And it was starting to come up the eastern seaboard through Florida Keys and that. And I just had to hit the no effing way are you getting to do that. No way. Matter of fact, what I did was I called I texted a few people that had taken my process and said, this is what I'm doing, before I did it. And so I said, okay, bud, you're not getting away with what you had planned. And I forget the times now, but I think it was 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Vancouver time. And I just put my hand, went like that, drop now to a 2. And it was a category 5 monster storm. And within 20 minutes, it dropped from a 5 to a 2. The next morning, it went back up to a 3, I believe, or 2.5. It's been a while since I told this, and I'm just trying to recall the events. And I think it went up to a 3, and I said, listen, I told you this is what is needed. Now you damn well do it right now. And immediately it dropped from a 3 to a 2.5. Then it went up the eastern seaboard, dropped to a 2. And when I got up to near where I am, was born, and most of my family is there, they did an interview for people, you know, it was north of New York. And it was like, they asked them, like, how bad was it? I said, well, wasn't any different than the 5 or 10 storms we get a winter. It has fizzled out to 1.5. Yeah. So imagine you knowing that you have this kind of power, this Superman power that Paul's talking about. And it's not a joke. It is not a joke. I think the last time I asked somebody this, I think it was 35 at the time, that had taken my process, that changed the weather. Like Jamie mentioned here one day, changed the weather. And so it's like, wow, I have this power. And if I have this power, how am I going to use it? And if I have the power to change the weather, what other power do I have to change? What other power do I have to do this? And so that's what I'm talking about. How powerful are you? Imagine now, Paul, you practicing every day this Superman power. Experimenting with it on the weather. Experimenting with it on different things. I remember there was a movie. At first I thought, you guys are nuts. But the life changed. But I've changed the weather twice already. Yeah. Yeah. Either stop it. Like in BC, they had the worst forest fires ever in BC, in the interior. And I said, you're not getting away with this next year. You are not doing this next year. And I just demand it right there. And the next year it dropped by 3/4. So if it was 1,000, dropped to 250, whatever it was, the whole thing. That was this. And they were all wondering, like, what happened? What happened this season that the forest fires were so dramatically different? Yeah. So imagine knowing this and never using it for harm, always for the good. Always for the good. Yeah. So anyway, it's fun. I remember I was playing golf in Furry Creek in BC. And it was clouds everywhere, kind of rain. I walked around the whole 18 holes. I never got one drop on me. Never got it one drop. There was an opening in the sky always above my head. And I never got one drop. Isn't that amazing? Now, you can doubt me and you can do all those things, or you can say, wow, is that possible? Wonder what? Now, you have to be in your light. You have to be in your light. That's it. That's the only prerequisite. And see what happens. But never in the form of manipulation. Always in the form of, hey, awesome. Welcome, Tutu. Bula Analo, Queensland, Australia. Awesome. I love that, Sam. At first, I thought you guys were nuts. But I've changed the weather twice. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I'm like. Our symptoms. What are our symptoms? What are our symptoms? And they're here for a message. They're telling you a message. And you're not listening. You're not listening. You are not listening. And what if you started listening to what that physical symptom is trying to tell you? So where is it in your body? Where does anybody on this call have a physical symptom? Anybody? So I could use it as an example.
Don, we can't see you.
Hey everybody, so it looks like the connection was lost. The solar might have gone out at Jamie's, so just give it a moment and Dawn should be right back on.
Janet, you're so powerful that you blew the power out in the Philippines when you get on the call. You get that? We on? Hi everyone, you back?
Yeah, we
Are we back?
can see you and we can hear you, Dawn.
So Janet, I was just saying that you're so powerful that you blew out the power in the Philippines, all the way from Vancouver. How crazy is that?
How do you know it's me?
I saw because I saw your name coming in. As soon as it came in, bang, there went the power.
Well, you're welcome.
Kudos to you. You stop using your all that big power of yours that way.
I'll try. None of my apps are working today, so my phone's not even working, only my laptop. So maybe I
Okay.
carry that on.
Right. So, very good. Yeah, right on, Jamie, Sam. So yeah, imagine. And, where are we? Where are we not using our power? Or where are we using our power in a not very best way? Yeah. And what power do we have? How much power is that? Yeah. And is it for, when you think about your best day, think about something that you did. Something that you did that was absolutely amazing. Surprised you, surprised everyone. Like, did anybody get any one of those stories? Something that you did and you surprised yourself? And I told this story once for sure. I used to go with a sweetheart. She lived way up in the wilderness, like in the top left corner of British Columbia, in the middle of the boonies. And just to give you an idea, the old fellow up there in this community of, I think it was 11 or 13 people, and she had spent a whole year living off the land. Yeah, just lived off the land. And she was from Vancouver. And she, when she was finished, the old fellow there, Billy Proctor, he gave her a piece of land on top of a cliff. And she went and got a how-to book and a 14-inch chainsaw and built a log cabin by hand by herself. Yeah. So just to give you a little bit of a background, for her name was Nikki. And one day, and she used to do, people come out with boats and she would guide them. She would do tours with them. Anyway, and one day, someone that she had done a tour with said, yeah, I've got a lot of movies. We're both movie buffs. And she said, we got a bunch of movies on a stick or whatever it's called. And come by tomorrow evening and I'll give it to you. Okay. So that's what we did. We went, and she had a 16-foot runabout, just a small boat. It had a little windshield in the front, no roof at all. And away we went to look for these people, and they were all the way down a channel where there was a large waterfall and whatever. And so that's where we were headed. And we came around this big bluff, and here, way off, like a mile off, 3/4 of a mile off for you Americans. And it was this wall of rain, like a solid wall of rain coming like this. And it was as high as you could see and as wide as you could see. It's coming straight at us. And she was saying, oh, how did that go? I said, oh my God, we don't have any rain gear. We're going to get absolutely drenched. So she had gotten on the call to these people on the boat down this channel, and they said, don't come. I can't even see my phone. Can't even see my phone talking to you. It's raining that hard. And it was just a solid wall of rain straight up, not like this, just straight up and straight across. And it was coming at Mach speed at us. And Nikki looked underneath and said, oh my God, we're going to get drenched. We don't have any rain gear. By now, it's about 20 feet away at the most, 15 maybe. Okay, now keeping in mind, no roof, just a small glass windshield. And by the time this all happened, it was about 8 feet away. I said, don't worry, Nikki, I got it covered. I went, oh, put my hand up like this. Oh. Instantly, the wall of rain stopped. Within 3 minutes, there wasn't a cloud in the sky. Within 3 minutes. 3 drops got on the windshield, none on me, none on her. How amazing is that? Now, I'm saying this not to go like that. I'm saying, what power do you have? What power do you have? Like Paul. What power does he have? Lay dormant. Because he got laughed at or he got whatever at 3 or 4 or whatever that was. And that power. Superman power. And you wait and see. Paul's open to stretching and checking every day what he has and what it looks like and how he can use it. And then come back and share this. Okay? And I want you to do the same. What powers do I have? What was the most powerful thing I ever did? Not in a harmful way. Not in a harmful way, but in an amazing way. Okay? And it's no different than me standing in front of my dad to stop him from using his car to run over my sister, his daughter, Carol. I stood there, boom, like that, and he stopped. What power do we have? Okay? You go ahead, Sam. You go ahead, bud. So thanks for being on the call, bud. Anyway, so that's what I'm asking you to ask yourself this question. What powers do I have that I either don't know I have I know I have them, but I have never used them. Or I used them and I used it for unhealthiness and I decided not to use them again. Whatever that is, what power do I have? Huh. And so, and then start practicing. And then start practicing. That's it. Start practicing. Yep. Yes. Like the guy that with the, 15 minutes and his 16-month cancer. 16 months of cancer. And after we were finished, 3 weeks later, he calls and said the cancer's gone. How did that happen? We are powerful beyond imagination. I want you to start, what was the most powerful thing I ever did? And we end up using these, we hide them for whatever reason. Whether we were embarrassed, like Tom was embarrassed, like Tom was made a fool of, laughed at, jeered, okay? And he hid it. He hid it. Many of you, that may have happened. So, and what powerful moment did you have? Anybody like to share one? What powerful moment that really stands out for you? What was that? Well, whatever it was, like doing this amazing speech, or like the athletes. I keep saying to them, like, how did you get 4 goals that day, that game? How did you do that, bud? One player, he had 6 goals in a game. How did he do that? How did he do that? And they don't know that it was something that they actually, that they had something to do with. It was just luck. It's just luck. It's not luck at all. We are powerful beyond means, powerful beyond recognition, power beyond the human intellect. And so it'd be quite interesting for you to start becoming aware, like Paul. Like, what did Paul do? What did you do, Paul, when you were made fun of? What'd you do, Paul?
I think I basically ignored it.
Ignored their jeers?
Their jeers, and I went more into that power, that the belief of Superman. I think I don't think I know that I was in that, definitely in that way, and it just sustained me the whole way. There's nothing could stop me.
Right. So you kept
Yeah.
using it?
Yes, kept using
Oh,
it, and I had a couple of other experiences later on, and it's a long story, but I had one that came where I was well, it was one of these moments where I felt I had to leave the house. I was 15, and I said, I got to leave the house. I can't stay. My dad and I were at odds at each other's necks all the time,
yeah,
and I just had enough. And I said, so I grabbed a bag, put a handful of clothing in, and left that day, not to return for years. So
right.
on my way out, I was walking in an area that was very new to me in the east end of Toronto,
Yeah,
and not a particularly safe area. And what I didn't know at the time, but I was encountering what looked like a bunch of, this would have been at dusk, in the evening, and I was encountering a bunch of people, young kids of different ages, like a gang of them walking
Yeah.
along a park called Riverdale Park. And as
Yeah.
I was approaching them, I had this fear come on to me, like, oh, because this would happen often in these neighborhoods. They'd just swarm you, and jeer you and push you around, and so you had to really be on guard. And I thought, oh shit, this is happening again. What am I going to do? I can't run anyway. I really can't get away because they're practically on me. And I
Yeah.
thought, oh, so what? This is phenomenal. So what turns up is a German Shepherd dog, and the
Right.
German Shepherd dog came right to my side. I don't know this animal at all, but this dog
Yeah.
came right to my side and followed me along as if I felt it was healing by me as almost at this gang, and
Yeah.
it started to growl as I'm approaching them at the
Yeah.
gang, and I'm taken away. I'm just like, okay, all right, buddy, let's go. So so walked right through them, never got touched. They all made space for me. I walked right through
Yeah.
the middle of them, and I was on my way. Well, that dog became my pet. It
Ah.
stayed with me after that,
Ah.
and it listened to every word I said, everything I said. Sit there, stay, come over there, get up on that couch. And I played around with the commands and spoke in Italian to him, but still with
Yeah.
the tone of the command, and understood everything. Everybody thought I had a bilingual dog. And
Right.
so that was through the roof. At that time, I was so protected. I thought there's nothing's gonna harm me here. Anyway, that was
So, yes.
that I
So that's
believe
it.
was part of that. Yeah,
Yeah. No, it was that.
yeah,
That was that, Paul.
yeah, yeah.
So that's what we have. Like, and if you can't think of one right now, I want you to think of one before tomorrow. What did you think about, like in Paul's case, that Superman or Wonder Woman experience where, wow, it defied all odds. Defied all odds how we did that. Or what we did, I should say. And then the next is how I did it. Yeah, because you are powerful. But yet, we turn it inward and we give our power away. And then what happens is then the illnesses start and all of those things because we're operating from the opposite energy field. Yeah. The opposite. The opposite. So I'm challenging you to recall a powerful moment that you created out of thin air. And how many of them you did. How many? You know, I shared in my bedroom, I had a wall. It was about 15, 18 feet wide and 8 feet high. And I would, let's see if there's something here. It's kind of like a card like this. And I would put the title here, and then I would put in bigger letters here, smaller letters here, the story. And I had 100 and, well, I think it was 108 of those. And many of them had a bunch of them in them. So it was more like 200 in total. And I put them all on my wall. As soon as I walk up, it's like, oh, that's how powerful you are. I'm like, whoa, wow, amazing. Yeah. Kept being reminded of this power that has been gifted to me. And not just to me, but in my case, to me. And those moments, moments of time when I use that power. And then we go into victim mode. Okay. So Janet, do you have something to share?
Yeah, I was just going to share a powerful moment.
Please do.
I guess during a speech, a speech that I did recently, or I was a keynote speaker, and yeah, I was actually really stressed. I recreated it, rechanged it all the way up till 4 in the morning. I had to speak at 12 p.m. the next day, and so I rewrote it all the way, practice it all the way until 4 a.m. the next day, or actually 7 a.m. I don't know. I remember sleeping for 2 hours, but I was trying to get it right and trying to get it perfect and to make sure my message got out. And in the end, I end up letting go of the significance finally and surrendering to it. And when I did an exercise in the speech, at the end, when I opened my eyes, actually, I had a standing ovation and everyone was crying.
Wow.
So that was very unexpected.
Yeah. Awesome, Jen. That's awesome. So it's like, wow, that's how powerful you are. Or a taste of how powerful you are, I should say.
Yeah,
Yes.
because apparently that's why I stole from the ego, right? That moment.
What's that? That's what?
Like, because maybe that moment was still from the ego. Who knows?
I know that wasn't the ego.
Mm.
I know that wasn't the ego, just the way it all played out.
Mm.
Okay. And see, that's the ego trying, not trying.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So the ego, remember, the ego has no more power than the power we give it. You might think it does, but it doesn't. It does not. It does not have any power. That's why when I do these things with people and it's like, boom, it's gone. Something's gone. What was gone was what was created by the ego. So it has no power. So, and once again, Janet, that was it, trying to get you a doubt. You standing in your power and then trying to get you to doubt that you were in your power, that it was it. And those are the kind of things that stop us. So pay no attention to it. Give it some kind of a gurgly voice or something so you can really recognize it. Okay?
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing. Awesome. I have always gotten the ideal parking spot. Isn't that amazing, Eric? Isn't that amazing? The parking gods. So whether they're small or large or whatever, it's like
okay.
Practice.
Hello. Hi, Dawn. It's Dawn again.
Yes, Dawn again.
Yeah. I would find that for me, whenever I was, I'd have different authors sometimes or books that I've never ever heard of would come to my head, and then I would think about it. And sometimes it was usually a couple of days after or a day after, I'd be going to a thrift shop, just going through the bookshelf. And right off, that author or that book would just show up on the shelf. And I'd even get obscure authors, I mean, books that, that are very difficult to find. And that would happen to me a lot. I can't think of all the specific titles, but there were many. And I didn't know how. It happened with mostly books and authors, but the next day, and even if it was some longing that I'd have in my heart for spiritual direction or wanting to understand when people pass over or stuff like that. I mean, inevitably within a few days, I would find those kind of books. I don't know. I kind of feel weird sharing it, but that would happen to me often.
Okay, now let's back up for a half a sec here, just like with Janet.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why you would feel weird sharing.
Well, because it's something I never
What?
talk about. I just keep most of that stuff to myself.
Well, just
Um,
like Superman there in the same bed as you. Okay, you're going to have to change that strategy.
yeah.
You hear me?
Yes,
That's
yes.
that's you playing small.
Well, maybe that's why I'm constipated.
1,000%.
It's been terrible the past month.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. It's awesome that it was terrible.
Oh, it is
Now you
terrible.
have a really strong signal to say, okay, the universe is telling me to stand in my power and let all this shit go.
And I've never been so painfully constipated in my whole life because we left,
Wonderful.
actually our son kicked us out last month. We were living with him for a while to help him out because he has a lot of addictions and not able to take care of his kids. So we helped him for we were there for him for a whole year. And then at Christmas, he kicks us out. And we didn't know where the hell to go because we were homeless. And
Yeah.
so they had these properties in Greece, and out of the blue, I thought I didn't want to come here at all because it has to do with family and how I was treated and stuff like that. So what it did was open up the door for us to come to Greece and for me to deal with my inheritance I didn't want to deal with, which was properties. And I got here, and as soon as I got here, I got very constipated, and I haven't been able to go to the bathroom.
Okay. So the
So,
question is, what is it about in Greece? What's out there that creates the blockage that you don't want to deal with?
well, that is now in my power to deal with these things because both my mother and my
You what?
sister,
Wait, now what?
I
What's your
now I
power?
now it's coming now the responsibility, well, actually the power has come to me that I am the one that needs to deal with these properties. And for why it always was my sister that was the chosen one that was going to be the one to deal
Yeah.
with them. And I never was interested because it was just hers. So now it's really up to me to deal with them because she's not in the picture. And now I have to come into my power. And I guess maybe that's why the constipation is so awful.
You guess?
Well, I'm guessing, yes.
Well, maybe that's the truth. And that you need to stand in your power.
I never have really.
No, you haven't. I knew that yesterday. No, you haven't. So when are you going to make that decision? No, well, first of all, why are you so afraid to stand in your power?
Why am I so afraid to stand in my power?
Yeah.
Maybe it's ridicule. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I, I don't, it's like, I'm not used to it. I'm not used to expressing
No,
it.
no, no, no. Your first answer is the right answer.
I forgot what that was.
That
I'm
I'd
not
be
used to it.
ridiculed, I'd make a
Not,
mistake. What?
well, to be laughed at, or you're crazy, or you're making stuff
Yeah,
up, or,
yeah. Huh, kind of like your husband, crazy because he's Superman, right?
well, yes, it is kind of like that because, yeah, in a
It
way it
is
is
kind of
because,
like that. Yes, Donna.
yeah,
It is kind of like that.
yeah.
So, how long do you want to play small and insignificant like a little ant?
It's becoming unbearable.
I'm so pleased to hear that. Now, it's showing you the unbearableness with the pain in your stomach, in your kidneys, in your bowels, because you're refusing to stand in your power. And it's all getting backed up. You're doing that.
Ugh.
Isn't that awesome?
Oh, it stinks.
Isn't that awesome? What?
It stinks.
Isn't that awesome? What? Yes, it stinks. Yes, it does. Yes. Yes, it does. And that's the universe, your subconscious, the power that you have that you refuse to stand in, that's exposing itself in a negative way, because that's the channel you're turned to. That's the channel you're turned to. Okay? Instead of in your light, you're in the ego. And it's got you convinced that you can't do this and you can't do that and whatever those things are.
Yes, that's very true.
Yeah. And your decision right now, you might want to wait until we're finished here before you make this decision, because you might have to go to the bathroom before that. If you don't. And the decision, Donna, is I'm going to
Yes.
stand in power.
Mm-hmm.
Never made that decision. Your kids take advantage of you. Your friends, everyone, because you allow it. You refuse to stand in your power.
Oh, yeah, he had to literally kick us out on Christmas Day. Yes.
That's wonderful. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And it was meant for you to learn a lesson, but you didn't get it. You still didn't
No.
get it. You were kicked out by your only son on Christmas Day, and you still didn't get the message to stand in your power. Isn't that amazing?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Oh.
And now you're all backed up.
Yeah, because I still don't want to.
No, you don't. Why not?
It means getting more attention.
Means getting what? More attention?
Attention, more comments, more criticisms. So I guess I don't
Oh,
do anything. Yes, I don't want to get criticized.
how come?
It's very lonely when you do
Oh,
speak up. It's very lonely when you do speak up and
do I
and
look
no one
lonely?
else. Pardon?
Do I look lonely?
No, you don't look lonely.
How come? I speak up all the time with everybody.
Hmm. Wow.
Do I look lonely?
No, you don't look lonely at all. No.
Huh. So what's that tell you?
I'm full of bullshit.
Yes, you are right now. You better get rid of it.
Yeah.
So when are you going to stand in your power? Make a decision first to stand in
Right.
your power. Make a decision to stand in your power.
Okay.
And when are you going to make the decision? Donna.
Oh,
We're all waiting for your answer.
will it guarantee I won't be feeling like all alone?
Who said you're going to be all alone? How
Well,
many
usually
people
that
do you have in your how many people are spreading love on you already now? How many?
I haven't got my eyes open. I'm not looking.
Uh-huh. I'm not
Okay.
I mean in your family, in your neighborhood.
I
When do
don't
you want
know.
it, when do you want your world to be externally referenced? That your happiness depends on what other people think of you.
I didn't know I was doing that.
Well, you are. How long do you want to have other people define you?
Not long.
When's not long, Donna?
Uh, I don't know.
How long do you want other people to decide who you are?
How long?
How long is not long?
I'm having a hard time with this one.
I bet you are, because you spent your whole life doing that. Spent your whole life, Donna, playing small and insignificant.
Okay,
Okay, what?
one more minute.
No.
Not much, maybe not much, too much longer.
How much is not too much longer?
Um,
How
well,
long does it take to make a decision?
is there any guarantees?
Yeah, guarantee that you will blow up from your your system backing up if you don't. That's the guarantee.
Okay, I can give it a try.
No, I'm going to make the decision to do this.
Okay,
Because if you're going to give it a try, the ego is going to say, I'm going to be sitting at the door waiting.
all right. Okay, this is scary.
What's scary about it?
I kind of feel like I'd be lying to myself. I'd have to admit I've been lying to
No,
myself.
no. Well, you have been lying to yourself your whole life. When do you want to tell the truth?
Now,
When's now?
this very minute,
Okay, what's your decision?
I'll get used to standing in my power.
No, I'm going to stand in my power.
I'm going to
needing
stand in my power. Okay. I'm
What?
going to stand in I'm going to stand in my power. Okay.
When? When is it I'm going to? When is that going to happen?
Now,
Thank you. Congratulations, Donna. You might be staying very close to a bathroom.
now,
So you can let all the shit go from you having it backed up from refusing to make a stand in your power.
yes.
Congratulations. Got it?
Yeah, it makes me very sad, but I've got it.
Oh, what's the sadness about? What are you letting go of that you're sad about?
I'm sad that I have to give up hiding.
Oh, hiding. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
well, you've made a success of hiding. Yeah. Even when your own son kicked you out on Christmas Day, you were still not willing to let go of your hiding, your power.
No,
Not crazy.
yes, it's crazy.
Yeah. So, what if it was right now? If it was right now and it's Christmas Day and your son is kicking you out, what would you do right now based on what you now know?
I tell him to go fuck himself.
Yes. That's what you needed to do.
Excuse my language, but that's what I would do.
No,
Yes,
that's what you needed to do.
yes, I did need him to do that. I needed to do that,
That's
and I
what you
didn't
needed
do it.
to do. That's okay. But having done that right now, this is what I would have done. Is awesome. Donna,
Okay.
okay?
Thank,
That's
thank you
you
thank
making
you.
this stand in your power with everybody,
Mhm.
including your son, who would do something as insensitive as that. Okay? And that's what he needed to be told. But you were too busy playing small.
Well, I
Right
was very
beside Paul. What?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was irritating. I understood because I was telling him the truth of a situation. I mean, a fact, and he didn't like it. And I thought I was being helpful by standing up and speaking up about a situation. I thought, out of the good intentions of my heart, that speaking the truth, he would be able to hear it and see it. But no, so what he did was, it was better and easier to kick his parents out, who after a whole year was very helpful to him, not wanting anything but a good intention to be there for him. And so in speaking the truth, that's what I tend to get.
Well,
So
congratulations. Because you're letting all of those truths go and not say anything. Have I ever held back with anybody on this call?
No.
What have I told on this call to anybody?
Think situations as you saw them,
And what was I telling them?
the truth.
Yes. You haven't been doing that, Donna, your whole life.
No, I haven't. And when I do, I pay for it.
No, never mind. That's the ego. I'm asking you the question. Are you ready to tell the truth? Your truth.
Yes, yes, no matter what, yes.
Okay, wow. Finally, Donna. That's the first power energy statement you made since you got on these calls.
Well, who likes to be so obvious, right?
Well, it don't matter right now. It's obvious that you made a decision. Are you going to keep that decision now with everybody?
Yes, I am.
Wonderful. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And now see what happens to you physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, externally, and internally.
Yeah, I don't know how to thank you. Thanks a lot.
Congratulations. Wonderful.
Yeah, thanks for your love and kindness. Thanks.
You betcha, Donna. Now, you keep this. Do damn well, don't dare give this up for anybody or anything. And see what happens in your life.
Okay, yes, okay.
Super congrats. Okay. Anyone else with any shares?
I'll be your children, Donna. Thank you. I thank you.
Wonderful. Imagine having this to go to, this platform, bringing your friends and family, neighbors, and everybody start to get this energy. Imagine that. Imagine. Okay? And this is your new family.
Oh. Well, thank you so much, Shannon. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thanks.
Got it? Don't you dare play small and squeaky again.
Okay, I'll be loud.
Asking
You have-
permission to say something.
I gotta
Go ahead
watch
and say,
my ears. I gotta watch my ears now, Don. She's very loud.
that's good, bud. That's good. You just use your Superman's talents.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So very exciting, you guys. That's what this is about. So recognizing these programs and patterns and the belief, the core belief that drives them all. We're not going after one. We're not going after a little bit. We're going after, okay, where is it that I am not being who I am? Where am I not standing in my power? Where am I giving my power away? Or where am I having power over others? All those kind of things. And you trace it to the origin. You trace it back to its origin. Okay? And that's what this is about, is taking people through that process of identifying these programs and patterns and belief systems that were all created almost exclusively before the age of reason. Almost exclusively. Okay, Eric, after 3 decades of personal development and losing my power on and off throughout the years, it just comes down to keeping your power and staying in your light. 23 days, and now I know. Thank you, Don. Yeah, it's like, where did we get the message? Where did we get the message? It's unsafe to stand in our power. Or that I will lose love. Whatever. So for me, you know, I had a pink blanket, called a Pinky, dragged around with me everywhere I went. And I lived on PEI, Prince Edward Island, and the soil on Prince Edward Island is red, like deep red. Deep red. Kind of like the red on the bottom here. This here, this. That's kind of the color of the soil. And I would drag it around with me everywhere I went. So you can imagine what it looked like. So Mom, when I was 3, decided I no longer needed this pinky blanket, so she hid it, unbeknownst to me, she hid it on me. And for 9 months, I drove, you know, moped around, sad, melancholy, looking, trying to find this pinky blanket. Couldn't find it anywhere. One day, our kitchen and dining room were separate, just all one room separated by an archway. It's an old farmhouse out in the country. And that day, my mom and a few brothers and sisters were sitting over here at a table. And I had been rooting in this closet over here. And lo and behold, I found Pinky. Well, I come running out of that closet with every ounce of energy a 3 or 9 month old could possibly muster. And I'm going, yeah, found Pinky. And I'm running around this kitchen and dining room, 2 rooms. I came around once, yahoo, yahoo. Come around the second time, doing it again. And the third time, Mom was fed up with this noise, this racket. And she just jumped up off of the chair, put her hands on my shoulders, stopped me in mid-tracks, pulled the blanket out of my hand, tore it to shreds and threw it in the stove, the wood stove, and burned it all immediately. With seconds, it was all over. There, I'll be enough of that racket. That was it for Pinky. Well, I made a decision that day, kind of like Paul with his Superman cape. Okay, I made a decision never to be excited about anything again, and I didn't. I'd get up to 40%, 60%, 30%, and I just cap it, boom. Never allow myself to be that happy, that excited, because I'm going to lose. Whatever I have, I'm going to lose it. It's going to be gone. It's going to be painful. So that's the decision I made at 3 years, 9 months. And I kept it for, I was 30 actually, 28, somewhere in that vicinity, I forget. And that was it. And that was my, where all of this started. And I kept repeating those programs over and over and over and over again. Yeah. So those are called imprints. And they have this emotional balloon, bubble of energy to them. And they need to be found and enhanced neurologically and cellularly reprogrammed so that we become free. And those are no longer manipulating and controlling our lives. And I've done this for 80-year-olds that are 80, 90, 70, having these programs that they had their whole life. So what this is about, we're not doing this behaviorally. It's not like, okay, Dawn, now you're pinky, now know that, you know, that's not it anymore. And there's none of this chatting and talking. No, it's like, boom, there it is right there. Burst that emotional boil and neurologically link the collapse and link it to who you truly are. And we'll walk back up through your timeline, reprogramming your whole life. And that's how we do it. And it's like, then you go back and it's like it's totally different. So there you have it. It's just like Donna. I didn't do it with her today, but that she made that decision well before the age of reason. Well before the age of reason. Yeah, it did. Exactly. You know, many times it's in the womb. You know, like, you know, many is like, I'm a girl and my mom wanted a boy. My dad wanted a boy. How disappointing. You're a disappointment. And these beliefs that we get about who we think we are. And we just keep making all our decisions from there. And this is about finding them and tracing them neurologically, glancing the emotional boil, and reprogramming it again. So we do it. And everything becomes different. So isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing for this? So there you have it. I trust you got something out of it today. Thank you for the sharing, Don and Tim and Janet. And yeah, it's like, it's awesome. Very exciting. So we anticipate having the program, what do you call it? The registering or whatever that is, affiliate program by tomorrow. Is it? So that'll be exciting where you can start signing people up and get them to join and become free. Become free. Like Janet, Tim, Donna, Shannon, I believe it was, Eric, a few different ones along the way. Don't know how to pronounce his right. Nadia? Nada. How's it been for you, Nada, since we did that work? You there?
Hi, sorry.
That's okay.
Yes, I'm here, and thank you. I didn't get on till late in time to hear Donna and some of the other stuff, and it's always useful and helpful, and I've been so in love with the time and the divinity that is available to me since you opened it up the other day. Thank you.
Awesome, Nick. Glad to
Yes.
hear it. Very exciting.
Yes.
And the great thing is, we all have it. We all have this inside. And that's what we're accessing. So, awesome. Thanks for sharing. So there you have it. Once again, I trust that we'll be able to share with you how to link everybody to have all your family and friends and neighbors and uncles and aunts. And there you go. Go ahead, Jamie. Tell them. Take
Hi
us
there.
home.
My name is Jamie Devine. Welcome to I Am Divinity. I'm super excited for you to embark on this journey. Just congratulations for even finding I Am Divinity. My journey has been over 16 years of personal development, spiritual programs, multiple religions. I've been an entrepreneur since the age of 13. I never had a regular job. And so going through all of that, showing up to Don Smith 4 years ago to take his instant and permanent transformation, first of all, sounded a little hard to believe because I had done so much work and I still had all my shit. I was still an alcoholic, a weed addict, a narcissist. My financial gains in business and investing would shoot up and then cut right down and start over, shoot up, cut right down, and I could never hold my success. Going through his program, it was about 2 hours. All of my toxic patterns and programs were completely gone. Literally just gone in a second. And I can't even describe how liberating that moment was for me. But right after that, I told Don, I said, I don't want to do any of the business that I'm currently doing. I woke up to my purpose for coming to the planet when Don told me his vision of raising humanity's consciousness to the level of 700 on the scale, enlightenment, which was the cause of all causes. The level of consciousness is the cause of all of our individual and collective problems on the planet. And so to finally have that solution, experiencing that solution for myself, I just wanted to tell everyone and anyone that would listen. And of course, with all my entrepreneur background and my skills in marketing, I made an agreement with Don so that I could just, literally my job would be to hold my light and share my light with others and bring them to the process and actually get compensated for it. And so I'm super excited to announce that we've now created this entire system for you too. Now imagine that, being able to go through this instant and permanent transformation for yourself, be liberated of all your toxic patterns and programs, literally within a couple hours. And then on top of that, being able to have all your financial fuel and energy and livelihood come from this divine system. And so there's a few pieces to it. Number one, we have an affiliate partnership program. So you're a partner. Your job is to hold your light, share your light, and anyone that's attracted to it, bring them to the program, and we pay out 30% of all the financial part of the system to you. That's the first part. The second part is my experience in the financial realm took me into Forex and crypto over the last 10 years. And I've been through all the roller coaster rides, all the ups and downs, all the scams and schemes. And we landed on just a couple people that were actually full of integrity, that have actually gone through the divinity process, and that are like nothing else. So our Forex fund is ran by an institutional trader. And if you've ever done anything in the financial realm in Forex, 99% of the retail space, the average everyday person, it's a scam. It's a scheme. You're going to lose your money. Maybe you're one of the few that got in early and took the money from the others, but eventually it collapses. I've seen them come and go over the years. But this institutional trader, he has 7 years of experience, and we have his entire track record of his strategy. He has an algorithm. He spent over $20 million in development up to this point. And so even with all that being said, there's still no guarantees. Of course, when it comes to investing, please only risk what you can afford. But we found something that's more solid than I've ever experienced, and it's where our personal funds are. And so you'll have access to that as well. His team has produced over the last 7 years on average 50 to 60% per year on the funds And you don't have to do anything. You open up the brokerage account, our team will help you do that, and you park your funds there like you would a bank account, and his algorithm trades on all of the accounts. And so we can expect a 50 to 60% if it's anything like the previous average. But again, all the past performance never guarantees anything in the future. Just please be mindful of that. And then the last piece is our crypto fund. Now the crypto fund is very time sensitive. So a good friend of mine, Josh, who's handling the crypto fund, he's become an expert at this stuff. That's all he does every day. He goes and researches the top legitimate projects in crypto. To give you an example, in 2021, which was the last crypto bull run, Josh on his personal portfolio did over 8,000% that year. 8,600 to be exact. And so this was a kid that was 21 at the time and had his life savings in crypto and became a millionaire over that year of investing. And so just this last year, Josh told me, hey, I'm gonna do what I did last bull run, but I'm gonna open it to a few friends and family. I said, Josh, no problem, I trust you. I sent him the funds for myself, and then I said, Josh, I wanna open this up to our entire community. He said, well, I don't know if legally that's a little tough. I said, don't worry, I'll work on that. And we created Divine Markets, which is a legal entity to be able to facilitate this, both the Forex fund and the crypto fund. And so we overcame that, and Josh is exclusively handling all the crypto for our community. And his target for the next year is 1,000%, about a 10x on the funds. And again, there's absolutely no guarantees. Please only risk what you can afford to risk. And so that's it. That's the overview. It's pretty simple. You got the affiliate partnership program, which again is just going to share the financial part with you so that you can actually create a network and an income for yourself while holding your light and sharing your light. Which, by the way, going through this process, we wouldn't be able to pay you to not tell people about it, because you're just going to be radiating and people are going to be attracted to you. And so we just wanted to create a system where we're all partners in this to reach that goal of 114 superheroes of light that are holding this and shifting humanity's consciousness. And so I welcome you to be a part of that vision and mission and part of our team. And I'm excited for you to go through your process. By the way, all of this financial part is only exclusively available to those of you that have gone through the process and committed to that. So it's not going to be available to anyone else. So what a bonus, what a reward for accessing your light and holding it, that you get access to an institutional trading fund that you wouldn't be able to get access to unless you had $250,000 and you're an accredited investor and all those things that the institutions look for. So we created a bridge for you on that. And the crypto fund, unless you know someone like Josh, and even if you did, it's not cheap or easy to get involved with those things. But we've made it easy for those of you that go through this process. It's a $500 minimum on the Forex fund, $500 minimum on the crypto fund. So that's it. I'm excited for you, and we'll see you on the other side.